You're either fighting for your life or starving in the mud, praying the things you've seen don't stay with you forever. This is what it was really like to live and fight in trench warfare. It's 5 a.m. You've just woken up, not in a bed, but in mud, cold, wet, and clinging to your skin like glue. You're in a trench, barely wide enough to turn around in. Your boots are soaked, your body aches, you're starving, and the only thing louder than your heartbeat is the thunder of artillery all around you. Every day started the same, with "Stand to!" You and all the soldiers were ordered to line up on the fire step, weapons ready, just in case the enemy chose dawn to attack. Most days, nothing happened, but you couldn't take that risk. Then came breakfast, if you could call it that. Maybe a slice of stale bread, a cup of cold tea if you were lucky. After that, the day dragged on. There were no clocks, just endless trench maintenance, draining water, repairing walls with whatever sandbags were left. Some wrote letters home, others cleaned their rifles or just sat in silence. Boredom was constant, but underneath it all was fear. The trenches didn't just feel like a battlefield, they felt like a prison. Walls of mud closed in around you, dragging you down inch by inch, not just physically, but mentally. The mud became part of you, cold, heavy, relentless. Rats the size of cats ran wild through the trenches, feeding on whatever they could find, especially the dead. And the dead? You didn't always have time to bury them. Sometimes they were left where they fell, or worse, packed into the trench walls, their bodies frozen in the mud, used to stop the walls from collapsing. Lice were everywhere, in your clothes, your hair, your skin. The itching never stopped. You'd scratch until you bled. Trench foot was another curse. Your feet would go numb, then turn black, the flesh rotting away while you were still walking on it. Some men had to have them taken off entirely. But the worst part was the smell. A stench so thick you could taste it. Rotting flesh, human waste, moldy rations, and the constant sting of gunpowder. It's something you never forget. No matter how far you get from that place, it follows you. But the worst part wasn't the rats. It wasn't the lice, or even the corpses packed into the trench walls. It was the waiting. Every minute stretched like a noose tightening around your neck. You never knew when your moment would come. A shell could drop without warning and turn you into nothing. Gas might drift in silently, curling through the trench like mist, and by the time you smelled it, it was already too late. Choking, blind, clawing for your mask in the dark. And then came the worst order of all.
Over the top!
Climbing out of the trench and into no man's land. Just open ground between you and the enemy. Barbed wire, craters, mud thick enough to pull your boots clean off, and machine guns waiting. Most men didn't make it 10 steps, and even the bravest men got shell-shocked. You could see men freeze up, cry for their mothers, break down in ways that made them unrecognizable. But back then, that got you labeled a coward. They didn't understand. How could they? And still, you endured, not out of courage, not out of patriotism, but because you had no choice. Day after day, in the same stretch of trench, fighting, freezing, rotting. Months bled into years. You watched friends die beside you, some in pieces, some in silence. And all the while, you wondered if you'd ever make it out. Some did, most didn't. By the time it was over, millions were dead. The rest came back different, quieter, carrying things they couldn't talk about. A British soldier once said, "If you had seen what I've seen, you'd never call war glorious again." And maybe that's the truth of it. The trenches weren't just mud and blood. They were graves. For the living. Because the real cost of war isn't measured in bullets or battles. It's paid in silence, long after the guns have stopped,